Hello, my name is Anton Krutz, and I'm the founder of Krutz String Instruments. And I wanted to talk about how I started out in violin making. I was 12 years old at the time, and I was doing a lot of arts, crafts, drawing. And my father, who was a bass player in the Kansas City Symphony, took me to see a violin maker named Ertsel Atchley in downtown Kansas City. And when I went to his shop, I saw for the first time a person that was doing art and craft for a living, and it fascinated me. And so I asked my father to take me there to apprentice with Ertsel Atchley. And so my father took me there every day in the summertime and on Saturdays, and I started apprenticing with Ertsel Atchley from the time I was 12 years old until I was 18. It was a really fascinating experience for me. Ertsel Atchley at the time when I came to him was in his late 70s, and so he was basically semi-retired and just loved to fool around with violins. You could tell that he really, really loved what he did. Earsel really awakened in me the love for violin making, and I was really fortunate that there was a camera crew that came in and filmed him while I was there apprenticing. So here's a little bit of that video.
The first thing I can remember was a violin and being played or gluing up or something done to it. The first one I ever made was the first year in school, and it was just a box, but it was a wonderful thing to me. And we had no strings. We lived in the country, so my father took the screen, you know, where the screen is woven, and took those wires and separated them and put them on there and played a little tune on that violin. Now, that's the finest violin I ever heard. That was the greatest thing to me that ever happened, right there. 6 years old and heard a tune come out, something I made. Oh, boy, there was no end then. I said, I'll reach the stars. There's a creative spirit or something in my hand. I've got to do something with it. I love the feel of wood. I love to tap it and hear the tones of it. I like the beauty of it. And nothing is any nicer than get a piece of wood and shape it nice as you want it. Then hear it. Now, like a painting, paintings are wonderful. But they hang on the wall. You can look at them. They give you pleasure. But you can't hear them. Where you make a violin, you can hang it at a wall, and it's something beautiful, too. But you can hear it. My grandfather taught me. His father before him taught him. And for 200 years now, they've been making fiddles. The Atchley family has. I'm doing the same thing for Anton. I couldn't do it with the boys. My boys, no, they didn't care. They didn't care nothing about that. They wanted to be engineers. And they went to Findlay Engineering College and became engineers. And they love that, which is nothing wrong with that. But when I come along and find him, 16 years old, that likes to cut scrolls and likes to carve wood like I did. Well, this is one kid that I can kind of look over a little bit and say he may not be my child, but he sure likes the things that I like. And he talks my language. We talk violins. What I see in Anton at his age, I see myself. I see myself when I was that age. I thought if I could make a good instrument, another musician comes along and us entwined together with my work, his knowledge or her knowledge, put it together. We make music of the spheres. You know, I don't know whether you know this or not, but every planet has a certain note, according to the scientists. And now what if you could stand out someplace and listen to all of those planets, those notes together? Now, wouldn't that be something? Now, that would be something.